आज म तपाईहरुलाई यो B.Ed फर्स्ट इयरको इकोनोमिकको चाहिँ म तपाईहरुलाई एक्जाम क्वेशनहरु टियु बोर्ड एक्जामको क्वेशनहरु चाहिँ म आज तपाईहरुलाई बताउने छु। यो चाहिँ पहिलो वर्षहरुमा सोधेको क्वेशनहरु चाहिँ हो। युनिट 1 मा इन्ट्रोडक्सन Question 1. Explain the concept of microeconomics. Question 2. Explain the types of microeconomics. Question 3. Mention the importance and use of microeconomics. Question 4. Explain the meaning and definition of macroeconomics. Question 5. Explain the limitations of macroeconomics. Question 6. Explain the importance of macroeconomics. Unit 2 Theory of Consumers Behavior. Question 1. Explain the concept of consumers surplus. Question 2. Explain the law of consumers surplus. Question 3. Explain the law of equimarginal surplus. Question 4. What is the law of diminishing marginal utility? Explain it with the help of table and diagram. Question 5. Explain the law of substitution with the help of table and diagram. Question 6. Explain the assumptions and importance of law of substitution. Question 7. What is shift in demand curve? Explain the causes of leftward shift in demand curve. Question 8. Derive individual demand curve. Unit 3 Theory of Production. Question 1. What is production function? Explain its types. Question 2. Explain the three stages of law of variable proportion with diagrams. Question 3. Diagrammatically explain the law of returns to scale. Question 4. Explain the concept of total product, average product and marginal product with a suitable example. Question 5. Discuss about the nature of total production curve. Question 6. What are the differences between short run and long run production function? Question 7. Describe the nature of marginal production curve. Question 8. Explain the nature of average production curve. Unit 4 Theory of Cost and Revenue. Question 1. Explain the concept of short run and long cost. Question 2. Explain the short run total cost curves. Question 3. Describe the nature of short run average cost curves. Question 4. What are total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue? Question 5. Explain the relationship between total fixed cost, total variable cost and total cost with diagram. Question 6. What is cost? Explain its types. Question 7. Describe about the nature of marginal revenue, average revenue and total revenue curves under monopoly. Question 8. What is the difference between fixed cost and total cost and variable cost? Question 9. Explain the nature of total variable cost and total cost with diagram. Question 10. Explain the nature of average revenue and marginal revenue curves under perfect competition. Question 11. What is the relationship between average and marginal cost curves? Explain. Unit 5 Theory of Product Pricing. Question 1. What is perfect competition? How is price determined under perfect competition? Question 2. What are the features of perfect competition market? Question 3. What is perfect competition? How are price and output determined under it? Question 4. How are price and output determined under perfect competition? Question 5. How does a firm attain equilibrium under perfect competition? Question 6. Mention two conditions for the equilibrium of a firm. Question 7. What is monopoly? Explain its types. Question 8. Explain the characteristics of monopoly market. Question 9. Explain the long run equilibrium of a firm under monopoly. Question 10. Explain the short run firm's equilibrium under monopoly. Question 11. Explain the features of monopolistic competition market. Question 12. Illustrate the price and output determination under monopolistic competition. Question 13. Explain the condition of price discrimination. Question 14. Explain the types of price discrimination. Question 15. Explain the degree of price discrimination. Question 16. Explain the price and output determination under discriminating monopoly. Unit 6. Theory of factors pricing. Question 1. Explain the Ricardian theory of rent with criticism. Question 2. What is wage fund theory? Explain. Question 3. Explain the wage fund theory of wages. Question 4. What is profit? Explain uncertainty bearing theory of profit. Question 5. Explain uncertainty bearing theory of profit. Question 6. What is interest? Differentiate between gross and net interest. Question 7. Critically explain the classical theory of interest. Question 8. Explain the classical theory of interest with criticism. Question 9. Explain the classical theory of interest. Question 10. Define economical and contract rent. Question 11. What is profit? Explain the gross and net profits. Question 12. Explain the Ricardian theory of rent with diagrams. Question 14. Define money wages and real wages. Question 15. What is risk theory of profit? Explain. Unit 7. National income. Question 1. Describe the various concepts of national income. Question 2. Explain the importance of national income analysis. Question 3. Define national income. How is national income measured from product method? Question 4. Explain the difficulties in national income measurement. Question 5. Distinguish between gross domestic product and gross national product. Question 6. The economy as a circular flow of income and expenditure. Explain. Unit 8. Classical theory of employment. Question 1. Explain the implications of the Say's law of markets. Question 2. Explain the criticism of Say's law of markets. Question 3. Explain the classical theory of employment. Question 4. Explain the discrimination of equilibrium levels. of employment, output and price. Explain the dichotomy between the real and monetary sectors. Unit 9 Keynesian theory of employment. Question 1 Explain the principle of effective demand. Question 2 Explain the Keynes psychological law of consumption. Question 3 Explain the importance of Keynes' psychological law of consumption. Question 4 Explain the measures to raise consumption function. Question 5 Explain the factors influencing investment. Question 6 Explain the measure of promote investment. Question 7 Explain the determination of equilibrium level of income and output in two-sector economy. Question 8 Explain the assumptions of multiplier theory. Question 9 Explain the criticisms of multiplier theory. Question 10 Explain the importance of multiplier theory. Question 11 State the comparison of Keynesian and classical models. Question 12 State the nature of unemployment and Keynesian theory of employment under developing countries. Unit 10 Inflation. Question 1 What is inflation? Explain its characteristics. Question 2 Explain the causes of inflation. Question 3 Explain the various types of inflations. Question 4 Explain the economic effects of inflation. Question 5 Explain the inflationary measures of inflation. Question 6 What is deflation? Explain its various causes. Question 7 Explain the effects of deflation. Question 8 Explain the anti-deflationary measures of education. Unit 11 Welfare Economics. Question 1 Explain the meaning and definition of equilibrium. Question 2 Explain the uses of general equilibrium. Question 3 Explain the importance of partial equilibrium. Question 4 Explain the concept of social welfare. Question 5 Explain the concept of efficiency in consumption. Question 6 Explain the concept of efficiency in production. Question 7 What is compensation criteria? Explain its assumptions. Question 8 What is social welfare function? Explain its assumption. आजलाई यति नै। आउने समयहरुमा म B.Ed फर्स्ट इयरसँग सम्बन्धित अन्य भिडियोहरु म ल्याउने नै छु। तबसम्म मेरो यो भिडियोलाई लाइक गरिदिनु होला, शेयर गरिदिनु होला अनि मेरो च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्नु भएको छैन भने पनि हजुरहरुले सब्स्क्राइब गरिदिनु होला।